Next news alert, Donald Trump responding to the Pope's criticism that he is not a Christian if he is calling for walls to stop the flow of illegal immigrants coming from Mexico into the U.S. Our own John Roberts is standing by now with the Republican frontrunner, Donald Trump, in North Charleston, and maybe he can give us a little bit of reaction here exclusively on The Real Story. Hey, John.
Hey, good afternoon to you, Julie. We're at what's called an OTR stop here in North Charleston. Donald Trump has stopped by a local eatery here. He's talking with the mayor of North Charleston, Keith Summy. A little while ago on Kiowa Island, I spoke with Mr. Trump about this idea that the Pope is suggesting that anybody who would want to build a wall along the U.S.-Mexico border is not a Christian. The Trump campaign did not take too kindly to that, immediately sent out a press release suggesting that for anyone, any particular religious leader, to question anyone's faith was, quote, disgraceful. I asked Mr. Trump about that. Here's his response. You said you believe that the Pope is being used as a pawn by the Mexican government. Do you really believe that Pope Francis would allow himself to be used as a pawn?
I do. I think what happened is he was there. He was with the Mexican leadership, and they said what a terrible guy Donald Trump is because he wants to build a wall and he wants to seal off the border.
So Mr. Trump suggesting that the Pope is actually being used by the Mexican government to say bad things about him. When I asked him particularly about this idea that it's disgraceful for a religious leader to question anyone's faith, he doubled down on that, saying absolutely it is. And now we're seeing other people from the Republican Party suggesting that it is as well. Now keep in mind through all of this, Julie, that there is a very small percentage of voters in South Carolina who are Catholic. The majority of them, some 64%, describe themselves as either evangelical or born-again Christian. So to have a little bit of a back and forth, if not some sort of a feud with the Pope, isn't necessarily a bad thing here in South Carolina. Might not play well in a state like Massachusetts, but down here it might. Julie?
All right, so I got to tell you, I'm watching Donald Trump behind you, and he seems to have a bowl of soup in front of him, but he's not drinking it. He took a phone call during your live shot. He seems to have some free time. Should we go over and talk to him?
You can eat whatever you like, Mr. Trump. Yeah, he was waiting for us.
Come over. Come on.
He obviously. Do you want to come over for a moment?
I thought I just did this.
Do you want to do it again? Come on over.
Yeah, let's do it again.
So we're live on The Real Story with Gretchen Carlson is off today. Julie Banderas is filling in.
Julie's doing a good job.
So we want to know a little bit more about this idea of a religious leader questioning someone's faith. As your campaign said, quote, disgraceful, because I thought that you were saying good things about the Pope just this morning.
Well, I like the Pope, but what happened is he went to Mexico, and the Mexicans understand that I get it, and they've been hitting us very hard at the border and hitting us very hard in trade. We just lost Carrier to Mexico. They make air conditioners. We're losing Ford to Mexico. We're losing so many companies to Mexico, Nabisco, and they understand that if I'm president, that's not going to happen. And they gave a pretty bad reference, I think, in terms of my attitude toward the border. We have to close up the border, or we absolutely do not have a country. And we're going to close up the border. We're going to have a wall. We're going to stop the drugs from coming in and lots of other things and lots of other problems.
We talked about this just a second ago, about the significance of the evangelical vote in South Carolina, and that you having a feud with the Pope isn't necessarily a bad thing in terms of that electorate.
I don't do it for that reason. I mean, you have some of these candidates, you know, I'm self-funding my campaign. I don't have anybody putting up money for me. You have all these people having their pollsters. And they would never do a thing like this. They wouldn't even be talking to you right now because they'd have to see their pollster. With me, I just tell the truth. I don't look at it that way. I don't know if it's a good thing to do or a bad thing. All I know is we need borders. We have to stop illegal immigration. It's killing our country.
Any predictions for Saturday?
I think we're going to do well. I mean, we seem to be doing well, but I just don't know. I mean, I'll see you on Saturday night, and we'll let you know.
All right. Well, we'll let you get back and enjoy lunch.
Thank you very much.
All right. Oh, actually, Julie has a question.
Go ahead.
No, wait, I'm not done. Wait, I just want to go back to that tweet that Donald Trump sent out in 2013 about the Pope. He wrote, "The new Pope is a humble man, very much like me," which probably explains why I like him so much. So Donald Trump was a huge supporter of the Pope. It's a bit surprising, is it not, to him, to get this sort of reception from the Pope many years later?
She was just asking about a tweet that you set out a couple of years ago saying how respectful you were of the Pope, how much you admired him, and now he's smacking you upside the head.
Well, look, I do respect the Pope, and certainly I respect the position. And it's not really his fault. The Mexican leadership does not want to stop a lot of things from coming over the border. I hope they feel strongly about drugs, but we are taking, you know, I just left New Hampshire, which, as you know, I won. And the people in New Hampshire, they have a heroin problem and a drug problem that's unbelievable. It's their biggest problem. And they told me, is there anything you can do? We have to close up the border. So we're going to close up the border and tell Julie I think she's terrific on the weekends. I watch her.
All right. But you're still respectful of the Pope? Can we
totally respectful. Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
All right. We'll let you go have lunch now.
Thank you very much.
Good to see you again.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you,
tell him
Julie.
his soup
All right,
is getting
Julie,
cold.
we'll toss it back to you.
All right, John Roberts, thank you.
It is.